Hey, this is the Daily Overpass. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today I want to talk about how sometimes you need to help your developers out. So yesterday I was in the office all day long, from the morning until around 11 o'clock at night, which for a weekend day is not the best. It's not ideal. I should probably be home spending time with family, but I had this one project that's it's going on a little bit too long. The developers who are working on it are struggling with a bit of things. We have this one bit of code that does some calculations. It has to be fast and it has to be accurate, and we just not getting that right, and I keep sending it back to them and they keep changing it and changing it and changing it. So I thought, I'm gonna come in, I was all mad. I thought, I'm just gonna come in, I'm just gonna write that thing myself, right? And I thought, I'm just gonna rewrite the whole app from scratch. This is usually what I do. I usually go for ultimatums, right? When I get stressed out and everything. And then I looked at it and said, no, everything they've done is good, it's just this one little bit. So then I thought, I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna work through this. And then once I started working on the algorithm, I realized I could see the complications that they had. Like a lot of the things that I suggested they do, it was a bit too slow. So basically I'm just sitting there coding away. But for the first few hours, I was like upset because I shouldn't have been here doing that, right? But once I accepted that, hey, I'm doing it, then everything was fine. And I was actually kind of enjoying it. It was doing some cloud functions in Firebase. So it was kind of cool going through and making it all work, and I'm just sitting here coding away, and I realized how much I really like coding. I really like solving complicated problems, right? So a lot of times people will say to this, they'll say either you hire somebody to do the code for you, or so you can focus on the business, or you do the code yourself and then you don't have to worry about dealing with other developers, and then it's whatever. But for me, it's always been in between. So when I looked at the developer's code, it wasn't, and I've been looking at it throughout the few weeks and reviewing it. That's the value that I add to all the projects. So when I look at it, I think everything's clean, everything makes sense, everything there, but it just wasn't running the way that it should. So, going through there, and that was like, if you've ever worked with other developers, you know that sometimes it's a mixed bag. Sometimes you get developers who are very methodical and everything is laid out properly, and then you get developers who are just like, it's just spaghetti, whatever. So like I could go in there and see what they're doing and see, okay, this is where I need to change the code, and then I could write a bit of functions there too and work on the really complicated problems, right? And some people say, why don't you just, but my thing was, if I'm gonna have to do this, I might as well do the whole project myself, but that doesn't make sense. Usually what happens is the developers work on 80% of the project, 90%, and there might be a few issues here and there, a little bit of finessing. Maybe the client comes back and asks for something like last minute that, I'm thinking, I don't want to do all the documentation for that, so I'll just do that myself. So I could go in there and do that last little bit, and then it's all about the cost of the project. So if I was going to do the whole project myself, and I mean like, the login forms, like all the little, the tedious bits that is just meat and potatoes in every single application, considering how much money I make an hour, that would make it a very expensive project. But if I could get those guys if I could get them to do all of it without any issues, then it's a much less expensive project. But if it's something where I have to come in and spend a few days on towards the end, then it's a little bit more expensive. And when I quote, I always have to take that into consideration. It's always, if I have to come in, how much time do I think I'll have to do this? What is the complexity of this? And as long as we can stay within budget. So despite the fact that I'm moody and I'm trying to be working on this, in the end I really had to I got it all done. And it is very much a case of, like I talked about medics and surgeons, right? If the surgeon always comes in, right, and he does his work and he says, patch that up for me, and he leaves. He doesn't do all the little stuff, right? It's the same if you talk about any business. They say you should be doing the stuff that other people can't do as a business owner. If it's something only you can do, that's what you should be doing. If it's something you can delegate, then delegate it. And delegating in code is easy too, but you have to make sure that you have really good developers and they have really good clean code that you can read and you could go in, and if you have to work on it yourself, then you can. So anyway, that's just my thing here. My thing today is just, I was upset because I shouldn't be in, but once I accepted that I was, then everything was fine. And working with good developers is really hard, but don't expect them to do everything. Anyway, that's it for today. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow.